see First Bank, though it's look decent for medium term, but what I would suggest is it is better that if you have a long-term perspective, stick with the leaders like HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank. Of course, Axis Bank can also be looked at.
Okay, got it. And let's now talk to Man Singh from Andhra Pradesh. Hi, Man Singh.
Very good evening, madam.
Good evening. Please tell us your question.
I have bought Ujjivan Small Financial shares, 4,000 shares, madam.
Okay.
38.6 rupees. My view is long term and short term view. The price is ranging between 31 to 40. Should I add more or sell on high? And I wish to buy on low. So I want to know both fundamental and technical view, madam.
Okay. And Man Singh, when did you purchase these 4,000 shares and did you purchase them collectively?
No, madam. I have accumulated from 29 rupees to 40 rupees. So I am holding this share from 1.5 years, nearly 18 months.
Okay, 18 months. Got it. Got it. Rajesh, do you see Ujjivan Small Finance Bank as a healthy investment strategy for the long term? Because Man Singh currently holds 4,000 shares at 38 rupees a piece, and he has been accumulating these shares within a set price range. Plus, it is now trading close to its 52-week low, and its 52-week high had been 56. When do you see Ujjivan Small Finance Bank reaching those levels, and for how long will Man Singh have to hold on to make profits?
So from a long-term point of view, I don't have a clear view on this. But if you see the weekly chart, definitely it's forming a base around 33, 35, which is its 200 weekly moving average. And also, if we see the daily chart, we can see a strong pattern breakout that has happened today, cup and handle. So possibly the stock is set to move towards the levels of 44 to 45. So in a near term, it is looking positive. But when it comes towards 44 to 45, we have to reassess the chart, how the market is and how the stock is poised for the next leg of move.
Okay, got it. And Dinesh, I'd like to get your fundamental analysis on Ujjivan Small Finance Bank as well, especially after it recorded a 19% jump in its total deposit on a year-on-year basis in Q4. How is the bank's asset quality positioned, and do you see it as a good fundamental stock to pick up from the basket?
I don't keenly track the company, but what do I know is that I would not suggest anyone to buy at this levels. I think they should wait for at least maybe 2 to 3 quarters for a better play. For now, what I would suggest is if they are, short-term perspective can be different. But what do I see is there are different counters over there which can be a good play for at least 2 to 3 quarters if they want. Or for longer term, I have already mentioned the names they can accumulate.
All right. Thanks for that view, Dinesh. Now let's go across to a caller joining us from Bengaluru. Hi, Krishnan. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes.
Today I just want to ask about the Cochin shipyard. Okay. I
Okay.
have 51 shares. I purchased for 569 rupees. And I have a profit of 41,000 as on today.
Okay.
So what is the long-term view? I want to hold for another 2 to 3 years, and whether I can accumulate at the current price. Just want to know the technical and how the shares is going to behave in the upcoming.
Right.
1 or 2
And
years.
just like if you could tell me again that at what price did you buy Cochin Shipyard's shares?
It is 569 rupees.
569. All right. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So 51 shares of Cochin Shipyard at 569. Currently, the stock is trading at 1,379. So Krishnan is sitting on a very significant, profit there. So Dinesh, no, but he's asked for a technical view. So Rajesh, I'd come to you. So what's your advice to Krishnan? Should he stay invested or should he partially book his profits there?
So first of all, congratulations for having such a great profit. From the near-term point of view as well, we are seeing that stock is forming a base somewhere around 1200, and we are expecting a bounce back in the near term, possibly towards the levels of 1700. So to 1700 is a 200 DMA, which has acted as resistance in the recent bounce back. So 1700 would be the one level where I would suggest him to book partial profits and to trail stop losses to the remaining positions.
Got it. And now let's talk to Shivanand. He's calling us from Karnataka. Hi, Shivanand.
Hi, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Most welcome. What's your question?
Madam, I'm holding Suzlon Energy for 1,700 units. Brought at the price of 63. 17K I'm lost, ma'am. I need to hold or sell. I'm a long-term investor, ma'am, 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
4 years. I can hold.
Okay. And when did you purchase the 1700 shares, Shivanand?
Last month, ma'am.
Last month. Okay. Dinesh, how do you view Suzlon Energy? Shivanand currently holds 1700 shares at 63 rupees a piece. The stock has fallen close to 10 rupees from his buying price. It's now trading around 53. It was although up in trade today, but it has seen substantial losses in the past couple of months. What is your view on the stock, on the company? And also, how do you see the potential of wind energy in India?
All right. So, yes, first of all, I would say that, yes, they can hold the stock. The only reason which I see is that their balance sheet has improved a lot recently. And based on the September numbers, I think they are overall very decent. So what I would suggest is only because they are doing good in terms of balance sheet, what I would suggest is to keep on holding the stock. Yes, overall view on wind energy is very positive. Government is taking various initiatives in green energy, and wind energy is the part of it. So yes, overall from a long-term perspective, like 3 to 5 years, there is a huge scope for India to grow in this segment, and one can hold on Suzlon as of now.
All right, thanks for that view. And before we move on to another caller, viewers, as you're aware that we cater to all your stock-related queries on this show, all you need to do is just call us on the numbers that are flashing on your screens. So quickly pick up your phones and call us right away. Now, we are joined by Vishwa Vijay on the phone line from Odisha. Hi, Vishwa Vijay, good evening.
Yeah, actually I've got 300 shares of Ireda at 263.
263, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So suggest me what to do because I'm having huge loss.
All right. You know, currently the stock is trading at 154, which is close to its one-year lows. So, Dinesh, in the renewable energy space, do you see IREDA as a strong candidate?
Definitely, I think they should hold on to the stock, but it will again take way too much time for investors to create wealth. But if I talk about the December numbers, I think overall bottom line is very good based on last year. And if I see this March numbers profit, it was decent. At least they are doing very good from March 2022 onwards. And if I talk about the overall debt to equity, of course, this is based on the nature of the business. It has to be a high debt company. But for now, what I would suggest is hold for it. But in case if you have don't have any patience, what I would suggest to switch to different companies, and if you have patience, stick to it.
Okay, so if you have patience, stick to IREDA is the suggestion coming in from Dinesh. Let's now talk to Mr. Rao. He's calling us from Andhra Pradesh. Sorry, it's a WhatsApp query, my bad. So Mr. Rao has 75 shares of Adani Ports at 1,363 rupees a piece. He is seeking a long-term advice on this one. So I will sway back to you, Dinesh. How do you see the company's future plus, the stock price? Because it gained in trade today. It's now trading around 1,133 and it was up 2% in trade. And especially it has been showing positive momentum after the company announced its operations commencing in the Sri Lankan terminal. So please go ahead and tell us, how do you view the company overall?
So see, Adani Ports, yes, from the group, I do like Adani Ports. And if they have overall numbers are very decent. So what I would suggest is, yes, keep on holding the company for long-term perspective. In case if you can take a risk, you can maybe start accumulating a bit, maybe from quarter to quarter. For long term, yes, I do like the overall business, and given the fact that infrastructure is about to take a pace, Adani Ports would be one of the beneficiaries for that. So hold on that, and if you have patience, of course, definitely keep on holding.
All right, thanks for that view. And just a quick disclaimer there, NDTV Profit is a subsidiary of AMG Media Networks and Adani Group Company, the channel you're watching right now. Viewers, with that, let's go across to a caller joining us from Bengaluru. Hi, Pankaj. Good evening. Pankaj, am I audible? I think we've lost the line there, but we have Pankaj's query with us. So he holds 70 shares of Dixon Tech at 4,700 rupees, and he's looking for a long-term view on it. And currently the stock is trading at 12,992, and Pankaj has made some significant profits of over 5 lakh. So I think Pankaj is there. He has joined again. Hi, Pankaj. Can you hear me? Pankaj, are you there on the phone line? I think there's some issue on the line. Yeah, we've lost him again. So Dinesh, firstly, talking about the fundamentals of the company, Dixon Tech, it's a strong company fundamentally, but currently it's trading at 12,992 and it's an expensive stock. So what recommendation do you have for new investors and also for somebody who has made such significant profits there? What's your advice?
Yes, definitely it's a hold so that is because the company has fallen. What do I believe is because of market sentiments from the September 2024 onwards, we have seen the market is down. So maybe this could be because of sentiments, and given the fact that the company does trades with the higher valuations. So all the high beta stocks were on the decline. So Dixon is one of those stocks. So definitely what I would suggest is keep on holding the company because the prospects are very nice. The December quarter gone by was very nice, and they are doing very good from last 3 years now. And given the fact that they are market leaders in what they do, and I do see that there's a good prospects for the company. So keep on holding.
Okay. And let's now talk to Sushil. He's calling us from Nasik. Hi, Sushil. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Please ask your question.
Ma'am, I have 25 shares bought at 1,275 Astral.
Okay.
So I'm looking for to buy more for 6 months. I'm looking for more 175 shares to add on my portfolio. So should I buy it or hold?
Okay. 175 or 75?
I want to buy more 175 shares.
175. Okay. Okay. So you want to know whether this is the right time to purchase more 75 shares of Astral?
175.
175 shares. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Got it.
And the current position.
Current position also. Okay. Understood. Rajesh, Sushil currently holds 25 shares of Astral at 1275 rupees a piece. The stock is now hovering around 1269 odd levels. It was also down close to 1.5% and has seen some gradual correction since July of 24. When do you see the stock turning back to its 52-week high? Because its 52-week high was around 2,500 odd levels. And when do you see, could you also suggest, Sushil, the right opportunity or the right time to purchase more 175 shares of Astral?
So overall, the view for the stock remains negative, but the viewer has its own view and wants to add more. So the next key support would be around 1180 levels. So we can see 100 monthly moving average placed around those levels. And the last major swing low of year 2022 is also at 1180. So 1180 is a very strong support. So that would be the ideal level to add more on dips.
And Rajesh, you said that the overall sentiment around Astral is negative. Despite that, why would you suggest Sushil to go ahead and invest?
Yeah, so as I highlighted, the overall view itself is negative, but Sushil has its own idea to add more. So if he has its own analysis, so possibly 1180 would be the next key support. But from our side, we would suggest that this is in a downtrend stock, should ideally avoid.
So some clarity, some quick clarity on why do you think there's a negative sentiment around Astral? It would just help the viewer understand his investment better. That's why.
So I would suggest that any bounce towards 1430, 1450 should ideally be used to exit positions. But the viewer can has his own analysis. That is why I said that if he wants to add, then he can add around 1180.
All right. Thanks for that view, Rajesh. Now, a caller is joining us on the phone line from Bengaluru. Hi, M. Venkateshwar Rao.
Hi, madam. Good evening.
Good evening. How can we help you?
Good evening. Madam, I have got some 50 shares of GRSE, madam.
Okay.
Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited.
Yes.
I have purchased it around 1,500 and recently only I purchased it, madam.
Okay. Okay.
Earlier, actually, I sold at around 1,900 levels. I'm having around 100 shares. I sold them all.
Okay.
And now again, I want to enter into that, madam. What is the prospects of that one? I can hold it for a long term, madam. For even for 2 years also, I can hold it.
Okay. And why did you purchase Garden Reach Builders in the very first
madam,
place?
that is a defense stock, no? Defense stock. Now, a lot of this one is there for that. A lot of this one orders are there for them in their hand. Okay,
Yes.
that's why I'm quite interested in that, madam.
Yes.
Okay, what is the prospects? Whether I can accumulate that one, or can I hold it for some more time like that, madam? I wanted to know.
Absolutely.
Till now, since the market is has been in the this recession mode, on the
Yes, yes.
it is in the bearish position. No, I think it is the
Absolutely.
right time for me to enter that one.
Absolutely,
madam.
Mr.
Please
Venkateshwar.
clarify.
We get your query, and I'll get your query answered also by our experts. So, Dinesh, what advice you have for M. Venkateshwar Rao? Because earlier he had 100 shares, he sold 50 of them, and now he wants to, accumulate more. So, currently the stock is trading at 1,566. So, are these the correct levels to accumulate more? And since the defense space is, it's obviously fundamentally very strong and very, everybody is quite optimistic regarding the space. But what opinion do you have?
See, in defense, one thing to note is execution is the key. Every defense company has strong order book, but it all depends on how quickly they are executing and how quickly the receivables are turning into the cash. So what I would suggest is it is a wait and watch play. In case if one wants to hold, they can hold. But what I would suggest is personally, I would not hold the company. Why? Because I have several different companies in this segment which I can rely on. But again, everything boils down to the execution. Everyone has a different order book. They have multiples of based on FY24. They have three times, 4 times of order book as of now. So if they are executing very sharply and in coming quarters, and if their receivables are turning into a cash flow very quickly, they can get higher multiples anytime. But given one thing to note that is that OFS is on the street as of now. So what I can, not particular for Garden Reach, but for PSU stocks. What I would suggest is there can be a sentimental negative for the segment in terms of PSUs. So if one wants to keep on holding, they can feel free to do that, but I would personally not do it. I would sell it.
All right. Thanks for that wise advice there, Dinesh. And also you said that, you personally, don't recommend this particular stock. But what picks do you have there for our investors who are watching us right now?
One strong competitor which I always have is HCL, and apart from that, BEL is a good option. Again, the third stock, they have to keenly watch if they have room for more investment, and if the company is doing good execution is BDL. So these three are the good companies to watch out for long term. And first two, HCL and BEL are the strong competitors. And if BDL is doing good in terms of execution of order book, then definitely it is also a good stock for long term.
Okay, so BL and HAL can be on your radar if you're interested to invest in defense stocks. Now we have Zenith. He's calling us from Bengaluru. Hi, Zenith. Good evening. Zenith? Zenith? Okay, we don't have him. No problem. Zenith wanted to know whether this is the right time to buy shares of ITC hotels for a long term. Dinesh, I will come back to you again. How do you see the space? I know you said that one could bet on the rising tourism as well as hospitality sector because of that. But how is ITC standing for you?
So what I would suggest is, I think it is not a right time to invest in ITC hotels per se, because based on what I see in terms of valuation, it is so on an average 210. Based on my calculations, 210 to 240 is a very aggressive. 240 is a target. But I would suggest is, I think recently ITC came to 210 odd levels. So based on my view, valuations are priced in, everything is priced in. Only thing based on what I see is Lemon Tree is a good option, apart from if they want to look at different counters.
All right. Thanks for that view, Dinesh. Now let's go across to a caller joining us from Delhi. Hi, Sohani.
Hi.
Hi, good evening. How can we help you on the show today?
Hi, I want to inquire about SW Solar.
Yeah.
I have 300 shares. Oh.
Sohani, if you could just lower down your television's volume, so it would be really nice.
Yeah, are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, you're audible. Please go ahead with your query.
Yes, SW Solar. 300 shares I own at 490 price.
Okay.
Want to know that should I add more, or I should just wait for it to come to that level? What's the view on this share?
Okay. So currently it's trading at 247 and you are sitting on a loss of almost 73,000 is what I can see.
Yes.
So Dinesh, since Suhani is a long-term investor, what advice you have for Suhani Sterling and Wilson Renewable Energy? What's your outlook on the company?
So I'm sorry, I'm not able to answer that because I'm not tracking that particular company.
Okay.
And I don't know the fundamentals of that, sorry.
All right, no worries. Rajesh, if you could tell us what are the charts suggesting on the company?
So overall, it's a underperforming and downtrending stock. So I would suggest to exit on bounce. The next resistance that comes around is around 310 to 320 levels. That would be ideal level to exit and switch to other quality stocks.
Right. Thanks for that view. And with that, I'm afraid that we are running short of time on the show. But thank you so much, Dinesh and Rajesh, for being on the show and, asking our viewers' queries so patiently. So thank you so much once again. And viewers, that's a wrap on this edition of Ask Profit. But stay tuned to NDTV Profit as there's more lined up ahead for you all.
I would have personally met 100-ish bankers. Almost 80% of them said no.
When you began the idea of Razorpay, how did the idea emerge for you?
It was easier to accept cash than to accept digital payments. It happened a lot by accident. Both me and Shashank were techies. Honestly, we never really thought of a startup or something like that. We were just techies who